The grocery bill climbs a little more every month, but the bags coming in from the car somehow keep getting lighter. Same money, less food. And a good part of that isn't the food at all. It's the convenience packed into the box, and we pay 2 and 3 times over for it. So a while back, I sat down with my own grocery list and started crossing off the things that cost the most and do the least, and then found what to buy instead. Today, I've got 13 of them for you, the swaps that trimmed my bill while everybody at my table ate just the same. And number 1 saves the most every single month. So let's get started. Number 13. Let's start over in the dairy case. Pick up a bag of the pre-shredded cheese and you're paying a good bit more an ounce than the block sitting right beside it. For cheese that melts worse, not better. They dust the shreds with a powder so they won't clump, and that powder is exactly what turns your sauce grainy. So buy the block. Grate what you need for supper, it's a minute's work. And here's the trick that saves you a trip back to the store. Grate the whole block at once, spread it loose in a freezer bag, and lay it flat to freeze. It stays crumbly instead of setting into a lump, so you can pinch out a handful for eggs or a casserole whenever you like. I grate a big block whenever it goes on sale, and I haven't bought the bagged kind in ages. The block of the very same cheese usually runs a couple of dollars under the bag for more of it, so you come out ahead twice. Same cheese, a better melt, and a few dollars a month staying home where they belong. Number 12. While we're standing in the cold aisle, look at what a bottle of salad dressing runs now. $4, $5 for what is mostly oil and vinegar you already own, so make your own right in a jar. A little oil, a good splash of vinegar, a spoon of mustard, a pinch of salt and pepper, and shake it till it comes together. That's an Italian, or close to it, whatever your family likes, and it keeps in the fridge a couple of weeks. Stir a spoon of honey and a little poppy seed into that same base, and you've got a sweet one for a fruit salad. It works because dressing was never complicated to begin with. It's oil, something tangy, and a little seasoning. The bottle just charges you for the jar and the label and a shelf life you don't need. Once you taste it made fresh, you won't want the store kind again, and you're not handing over $5 for something you could stir up in a minute. Number 11. Over to the produce now. Those bags of pre-washed salad and the little tubs of cut melon and celery sticks, they cost you 2 and 3 times what the whole head or the whole melon costs. You're paying somebody to do your chopping for you, so buy it whole and do it yourself. If your hands don't love the knife work, one of those little pull cord choppers runs about $15 and does it for you in a few tugs. Here's a trick worth knowing. Cut celery and carrots keep for days standing up in a jar of water in the fridge, crisp as the hour you cut them. The reason is simple. The minute they cut and wash that produce for you, it starts to go, which is why the bag wilts so fast and why it costs what it costs. The whole head of lettuce lasts far longer than the bag ever did, and it never comes home with that slimy brown corner you end up throwing straight in the bin. Half of what those bags cost is money you toss in the trash 3 days later. Number 10. That name brand cereal box nagged at me for years. It's pushing $5, $6 now. They've shrunk it on us besides, and with a house full of kids, it's gone by the weekend. So we went over to plain rolled oats. A big canister runs $3 or $4. It lasts us weeks, and nobody's shrunk that canister. The night before, I stir oats into a jar with milk and a spoon of honey and whatever fruit's on the counter, and it sits in the fridge overnight. Comes morning, it's done, no pot to scrub, no standing over the stove. It sticks with the kids clear to lunch where the sweet stuff wears off by 9, and there's a fraction of the sugar in it. One canister outlasts 3 or 4 cereal boxes on the same few dollars. Cheaper on the receipt and better in their bellies, both at once. Number 9. Pour yourself a glass of orange juice these days and look what a jug runs. $7, $8, and it's the same jug on the shelf with a few less ounces in it. So I quit buying it, now I buy the actual oranges. They cost less per serving, they give you the fiber the juice throws away, and one bag lasts the whole week on the counter. If it's a cold glass you miss of a morning, the little cans of frozen concentrate cost less per glass than the fresh kind, and they sit in the freezer for months. And a bowl of oranges out on the table gets eaten. Half a jug used to sit in my door going flat, but my kids will grab one and peel it right there, and that way they get the whole fruit, not just the sweet part the juice keeps. Either way, you're not pouring $8 down the drain the week it turns before anybody finishes it. Number 8. Here's one for the fruit lovers in the house. Fresh berries have gotten downright precious. a little carton of raspberries, or a bag of grapes running $4, $5 and gone by supper time. So for anything going into oatmeal or a smoothie or a batch of muffins, I reach for the frozen bag. They pick it dead ripe and freeze it on the spot, so it keeps all its goodness and it's cheaper besides. A bag of the frozen runs $2, $3 where the fresh carton was $5, and none of it goes soft in the back of the fridge on you. But the one we love most around here is picking our own. Come summer up in Michigan, we load the kids in the car, drive out to a berry farm, and fill our buckets for a fraction of the store price, sometimes less than half. What we can't eat that week, I spread on a tray to freeze so they don't clump into one big brick. It costs next to nothing, the kids call it a day out, and we're still eating our own berries in January, long after the store cartons have gone silly high. Okay, that's about half the list behind us. Each swap left on the list saves a bit more than the last, so stay with me. Number 7, now the coffee, and this is where the real money hides. If you run one of those pod machines, add up what a single little cup really costs you. 50 cents, even $1, every time you press that button. That comes to more per pound than most any bag on the shelf. So here's what I did. I bought one of those refillable pods, about $10 the one time, and now I fill it with whatever ground coffee I please. And I quit reaching past the store brand, because half the time it's roasted in the very same place as the name on the fancy bag. I poured the store brand and the pricey one side by side one morning, and I honestly couldn't pick mine out of the two. Keep the beans in the freezer to hold them fresh. Same cup in your hand of a morning, for pennies where you were handing over dollars. Number 6, open up your spice cabinet a second, because the answer to this next one is already sitting in it. Those little seasoning packets, the taco, the gravy, the ranch, the one for the rice, they run $1 or more a piece, and the first thing on the label is salt. You've already got every bit of what's in them at home. Chili powder, garlic, onion, a little cumin, a pinch of salt, and there's your taco seasoning, plain as day. A brown gravy is much the same, a little flour, a spoon of your broth base, some pepper, and you're there. Mix up a jar of your own blend on a quiet afternoon and keep it by the stove, and you'll spoon out of it for months. The nice part is you can leave out the salt or dial it back, which those packets never let you do. It costs a fraction of a penny a meal once you break it down. Once you see how little it really takes, you won't drop $1 on those little envelopes again. Number 5. This next one comes straight out of my grandmother's kitchen. A carton of chicken or beef broth is $2, $3, and you can make better than that for nothing out of what you'd have thrown away. Keep a bag going in the freezer, and every time you cook, the onion ends, the celery tops, the carrot peels, the bones off a roast chicken, in they go. When the bag's full, tip it all into a big pot, cover it with water, and let it simmer low for an afternoon. Strain it off, and you've got a rich broth that puts the boxed kind to shame, because real flavor comes from the bones and the scraps, not a carton. Freeze it in jars or an ice tray for whenever a soup or a pot of rice calls for it. And a couple of those cubes will wake up a pan of plain vegetables too. My grandmother never bought broth a day in her life, and hers are the soups I still think about. Number 4, next time you reach for a can of beans, look at the dried bag one shelf over. That can runs about $1.50 now and gives you a cup or so. A whole bag of those same beans dried costs about the same, and once they're cooked, it hands you 5-6 times as much. That's the cheapest good protein in the whole store. Soak them overnight and simmer them till they're tender, or do them in an hour in the pressure cooker with no soaking at all. Here's the part that makes it easy on a busy week. Cook the whole bag at once, then freeze them in supper-sized portions, and now you've got beans ready to tip into a pot just like the can, only for pennies. One little tip. Don't add salt or anything acidic like tomatoes until the beans are already soft, or they'll fight you and stay hard. A big pot on a Sunday can carry your suppers a good stretch into the month, in chili, in soup, mashed into a dip, all from a bag that cost you about $1. Number 3, walk past the fish counter lately and the price about stops you. A pound of fresh salmon or cod, running $8, $10, even $14, so a lot of folks have quietly quit buying it. But the canned fish does right by you for a fraction of that. Canned salmon, tuna, sardines, they're good protein and they keep in the pantry for ages. A can of salmon costs a few dollars and goes straight into patties or a salad. And a tin of sardines on crackers makes a quick lunch for next to nothing. And if you want a real filet on the plate, buy it frozen instead of fresh. It's caught and frozen at its best, it costs a good bit less, and baked with a little lemon or dropped in a chowder, you would be hard put to tell it from the fresh. A bag of frozen fillets runs a good deal less than the same fish fresh at the counter, and half the time it beats what's sitting in the case since it was frozen the day it came off the boat. Keep a few in the freezer and supper is never far off. Number 2. Now the bakers got caught off guard by this one. Baking chocolate and cocoa have shot up something fierce, some of it near about doubled from what I've watched on the shelf. It's been 2 bad harvests in a row, and all of that landed right on us at the register. Nothing you did. So 2 things. Buy it at the warehouse club in the big bag, where the price an ounce is a lot kinder than the little grocery box. And when a recipe calls for chocolate chips, chop up a plain dark chocolate bar instead. It usually costs less by the ounce, and folks who bake will tell you it comes out even better in a cookie. Sealed up in the pantry, it holds for months, so stock up whenever you catch a good price, and let the cost settle back down before you pay full freight again. Real quick before number 1, if these videos are saving you a few dollars, do me a favor and click that subscribe button and turn the notifications on while you're there. All right, here comes number 1. Number 1, the big one, and it's the meat counter. Ground beef that used to run under $4 a pound rings up closer to $7 now, and the steaks and the roasts have all climbed right along with it and stayed there. For most of us, that's the biggest line on the whole receipt, month after month, so this is the swap that saves the most of all. Now, I'd never tell you to quit meat, we sure haven't around here. Here's how you keep it on the table without the sting. First one, get to know the markdown sticker. My store tags the meat that's near its date first thing in the morning, $1 or $2 off, sometimes more. And there's not a thing wrong with it, it just wants cooking or freezing that same day. So I shop the meat case that way now. I build supper around whatever's marked down, and the rest goes straight to the freezer where it keeps for months. Next one, buy it big. A lot of farms out our way will sell you a quarter of a cow, and the price a pound drops way down. Go in on it with a neighbor or your grown kids, and your freezer's set near the whole year. And when the week runs tight, stretch what you've got. A cup of cooked lentils worked into a pound of ground beef takes it near double in a chili or a meatloaf. And not a soul at the table is the wiser. Because lentils soak up whatever flavor they cook in. They cook up in about 20 minutes dry, no soaking, so it's no extra bother. Bone-in chicken thighs are still one of the cheapest good things in the store, dollars a pound where the beef is not, so lean on those the night's beef just isn't in the cards. Do even a couple of these and you'll feel it on the very next receipt. 13 swaps, and not one of them feels like doing without. Now, what's the one grocery you finally quit buying, and what do you reach for instead? Tell me down in the comments. I read every single one, and it looks like YouTube's lined up another one for you right there, and it'll save you a little more money too. Go on and give it a look, and I'll meet you over there.